Hey everybody. All right. So for today, I just want to describe this reading assignment to you really quickly. So the name of the reading today is 5.1 Energy Basics. This is a general overview of kind of an introduction to energy. It's a little review of kind of the things you've seen in videos, but then it also adds on and goes deeper with new information. So if you go to Google Classroom, you're going to see in this category for this week, 1.6 chemical energy reading. And so if you click on that, you'll notice two things. There is a reading assignment, the reading document, and then also the notes page. So if we click on those, you'll notice this is the notes page. It starts out with some like the title. Our essential question for today is, how do we know how much energy is in food? And here are some directions. So the first direction is open the reading, and there's a link to it. Look over the reading and notice the four main sections. So there's introduction, energy, thermal energy, temperature and heat, and chemistry and everyday life. So let's find those real quick. So the introduction kind of starts with learning objectives, and this is the basic introduction. You'll notice there's one vocabulary word. The second section is called energy. Here I notice 4 vocabulary words, right, for that section. Next section is thermal energy, temperature, and heat. There are a few paragraphs, a couple of vocab words up here, and some links to interactive learning. So you're welcome to click on those and for a visual about what they're talking about. There's lots of images here, more vocabulary words, and some math equations. So you can see that this section is pretty big, but there's lots of information there and interactives for you to understand the material. And there's some example math equations. So this section of your notes I expect might be a little bit bigger than the other sections of your notes. The fourth section is down here at the bottom. It's called Chemistry and Everyday Life, and it's about solar thermal energy power plants. And so you're going to read this, and this will be a pretty short section in your notes. All right, so for those 4 sections, I gave you 4 rows here to put some information. It says write the main point or create a question for each chunk of text in the left column here. So for example, if I look at let's stick with this last section, that's fine. Solar thermal energy power plants. If I read this, you're going to notice it's all about solar thermal energy power plants. I see a diagram here for how they work. And if you read this, you're going to notice that there's a little description of how they work and what they do. So for my question over here, I might put, how do solar thermal energy power plants work? And then over here, I would put 2 or 3 bullet points that describe how they work from the details from the text. Okay, if you scroll down, the fifth direction is to define each vocabulary word and find an image to represent it. So if you scroll down here to this last section, you'll notice that these are all the vocab words from the text. I did take out one vocab word, so if you see one that's not on this list, you can go ahead and ignore it. But so just to find these ones, you're welcome to do this whole assignment in English, or if you have another home language that you're more comfortable in thinking through some of these concepts with, then you're welcome to do this whole assignment in a different language. Doesn't matter. This is for you. And then come up with a picture or an example. So you might just copy a picture right from the text, and then you can paste it here. Make sure that it matches the word, of course. Now, if it pops up and it's big, you can shrink it down, but if it's in this little box, it should shrink it automatically, but you can make it as small as you want it to be. At the end, the most important part of note-taking is actually summarizing, because this is where you have to think, what is the main point of all of this information? And summarize it in 2 or 3 sentences. And that's it. So that's what you're doing today. Email me if you have any questions at all. Have a great weekend.